No dogs allowed inside Parkland Community Library, but there's standing room only for dog lovers.
The turnout has been absolutely positively unprecedented because we've never had this many people in the library before.
Some 300 people line up for a chance to meet the man who's become famous for failing to control the world's worst dog.
I just see like a crowd like this, and it's like, are they all here for me, or is there another event going on?
John Grogan's popularity has skyrocketed since his book Marley and Me hit store shelves in October 2005. In 15 weeks, the true life story catapulted to the top of every major bestseller list, surprising everyone.
In the publishing industry, they're writing articles talking about the sleeper bestseller of the season, Marley and Me.
It's the best book I have ever read, and not just because he's local.
The Philadelphia Inquirer columnist lives in Emmaus with his wife Jenny, their 3 children, and beloved Labrador retriever Gracie. But it's the other lab that gave Grogan plenty of fodder for a book, Marley.
He was a very powerful,
Desperately happy,
lovable, joyous,
rambunctious,
with much more energy than brains.
who loved me like no one's ever loved me.
As newlyweds, John and Jenny brought home the energetic pup in 1991. He soon turned their carefree lives upside down.
He wanted to get outside to meet you. He'd go right through the screen to do it. We replaced countless screens in our house.
Whenever I left the house, he would usually destroy large parts of it.
He went through a couple of walls, actually, dug through the drywall down to the studs a couple of times.
You can imagine obedience school with a strict instructor nicknamed Miss Dominatrix wasn't Marley's bowl of tea.
Miss Dominatrix intercepted us. "You really need to get control over that animal," she said with a sneer. Well, thank you for that valuable advice. And to think we had signed up simply to provide comic relief for the rest of the class.
They were expelled.
Our veterinarian used to joke, only half joke, that if Marley were a child, he'd be on Ritalin because he had attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
Listen, do you want to go rollerblading with me tomorrow?
But believe it or not, Marley in all his crazed glory made a brief appearance in the 1996 B-movie, The Last Home Run. Despite his escapades, the uncontrollable 97-pounder brought comfort to the Grogan family, in particular when Jenny suffered a miscarriage.
When I came around the corner 5 seconds later, this wild, exuberant dog was standing perfectly still with his head resting right on her knees and looking up at her and whimpering.
Although empathetic and intuitive, Marley challenged his family for 13 years, until 4 days after Christmas 2003.
We fell into each other's arms and both started weeping. I tried to describe it to her, to assure her he was already deeply asleep when the end came. The next morning I woke up at dawn and I came down here and I started digging right here.
Now a simple rock marks Marley's final resting place, but John has given him a much grander memorial. He first wrote a column about how Marley enriched his life.
800 people responded, and a normal column would be, 50 to 100 responses, if that. So that's when I knew there was a bigger story to tell.
Marley and Me is a heartwarming tribute that's resonating with animal lovers everywhere.
So I got 941 unread messages here that I haven't even gotten to yet.
Oh my goodness.
So it's kind of crazy.
We just put our cat to sleep, so I bought it thinking it would be good for me in that regard to see how he handled that end of it, and I ended up loving everything.
Throughout the whole book, I just thought what a great family that they didn't try to get rid of this dog, because so many people would have just given up.
Mr. Grogan writes from a very personal point of view that you can really empathize with his family, with the feelings, with just bonding with a four-legged creature.
I think I sort of said, it's okay to have these feelings for a dog, and it's okay when you lose that dog to feel real grief for that loss. And people are responding in a big way to that.
More than 1 million copies of this book are in print in 11 different languages, and movie studio Fox 2000 recently purchased the rights to the book. It seems the disaster-prone dog might be paying off his debt for all those screen doors he busted. For Tempo, I'm Jeff Cherico reporting.